to talk a little bit about my Egypt trip. I took an Egypt trip about a year ago, and I have always wanted to go to Egypt, but I didn't know much about it. I just knew that I was drawn to go there. And so I asked my husband, do you want to go? I found this great woman that is taking 40 people, 20 on each boat. We're going to go up the Nile for a week, stopping at all the sites, and then coming back, doing hotels, air flights, and things like that. Sure, he wanted to go. So we booked it, and probably 3-4 weeks before we're supposed to go, they let me know that they had to cancel the one boat because they didn't get enough people, and they had one opening in the other boat, and that was mine. So I said, oh my God, am I going to go on this trip without my husband, or are we going to do this at a later date? And I said, no, because the universe meant for this to happen. I was supposed to go by myself. He was such a good sport, and I went. Like I said, I had no idea what Egypt was going to bring me. I met the most amazing women on this boat. There were, for the 2 weeks that we were together, there were 18 women and 2 men. They were our pillars, holding us strong. So we had strong masculine energy there, while us feminine energy just got to expand and be. So we got on the boat, we went to the temples, and unbeknownst to me, I learned so much about Egypt that is true, but I didn't know it. And I was able to, I didn't sit there and say, oh, did this happen because I read about it or already knew about it? Is that why I experienced it? I didn't have any of that. So everything that I experienced was very real to me, and I couldn't talk myself out of it. So we were on the boat, we went up the Nile, we stopped at multiple temples, and in each temple, I received a Merkaba to my chakra. So say I was in a temple and I put my hand on the wall, I connected to the energy, and I saw a Merkaba like right on the outside of my root, and it would come into me and I could feel it. It jerked me back a little bit, and I said, oh my God, what is that? And I thought it was really cool, of course, but I didn't know what it meant. And then I would go to another one, and then it would be solar plexus and sacral chakra and heart. And I just kept going through all these. And so I kept getting these Merkabas. Then I was in the temple of Hathor, or Dendera, and I went on a private tour, me and 2 other girls, and I went back in this little hall, and it was real small. And at the end of the hall, there was Hathor on the wall. And when I connected with her, I immediately went into a complete channel. I went into ceremony. I was blessing these other women. I was crowning them with water. I knew everything that I was doing. However, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, it was light language and command, and it was completely amazing, honestly. And I was glad that they got to witness it because they felt it. Other things that happened when I was there, I'd go into a place and I would shake all over because the energy was so strong and calibrating me and coming into me. And it was one thing after another when I was there. I didn't know what it all meant when I was there. And to be honest with you, I can't remember a lot of Egypt. Like, I can't remember the name of the temples that I went in. I can't remember so many things because I was really in a higher dimension the whole time I was there. I was not in the 3D. I felt like I was transported, and I was so expanded when I was there. But I do remember the most beautiful things. So when I get home, oh wait, forgot one of the biggest things. We took us long van ride out to Fayoum, and we then got a boat, all of us, multiple boats, to go out on this lake. And when I was in Fayoum is when all of the visuals started happening to me. I started to see myself as a priestess on the water banks, and I would put my feet into the water ankle deep and start doing light language and toning the water, say it was something for healing, like happiness or removing some kind of wound. And I would just stand in that water and I would speak to it and bless it. And all the people would come up with their cups and they would drink from the water. I had an amazing release at Fayoum, crying and screaming and releasing pain that from a wound that I had, and it was so intense and it went on so long. I had everybody in the group around me holding space for me, but the one woman, Matea, who organized the trip, she was our guide. She came up to me and put her hands on my shoulder, and we were down on the ground. And when I looked up at her, her eyes were crystallized. And I was taken back by that. And I went back and I started crying some more. And she also told me that mine were as well, that we were changed in that moment. So that was such a release. After that was all over, I went into my hotel room and I took a shower. And when I was in the shower, I heard, "Your name is Priestess Anya." And they even spelled it for me, Anja, but it said Anya. And I said to Matea, I was given my name, and she said that was very common, that people did receive their names when they came to Egypt. So at that point, I integrated the priestess archetype. Whether I was a priestess or not in a past life, I don't know, but I know of the visions that I had, and I also know of the archetype that is in me. Since then, I have embodied Mary Magdalene archetype and the dragon archetype, of course. And throughout this last year, it has been amazing growth for me. I have done ayahuasca, and the dragon came to me, the serpent came to me, and I was able to embody it. And that is when my light language changed to this powerful resonance. But, you know, at the same time, with ayahuasca, I'm also went through a release of clearing abandonment, my past lives, my ancestral line, the collective. I did the same thing with unworthiness and was told that now these are my medicines. These are my medicines for other people. Because I had gone through the dark night of the soul, and I had truly forgiven those that have wounded me, and I have truly forgiven myself, and I have seen the clarity of why everything happened, and it really turned into not a wound anymore, but a blessing and a benefit, because I can see the aftermath of who I am because of these things that were awful. I can see that I am more compassionate, that now I have transmuted these into my medicines for people. This dragon is so commanding that it commands with grace. It commands and says, no more. This is going to leave now. But it only is able to do that if you're ready to release it. I can't command something to go that you are not ready to release. I am just the energy that transmutes it to leave. So all of this started, like, my journey with spirituality has been my whole life, but I would say the last 4 years have really sped up, and Egypt was a huge part of that. I also had my human design read for the first time, and I had never even heard of human design, and that really changed my life, because when you get your human design done, you realize there's not a lot of stuff that you need to work on. you realize that this is who you are. This is who you contracted to be. You are born into these personality traits. Like if you sit there and you think, God, I wish I could be like that. They have all this energy. They just go, go, go. I used to think that my whole life. And once I found out that I was a projector, we're not meant to go, go, go and do, do, do. We're meant to guide. We're meant to see patterns. We're meant to spread out what we see. It took all the pressure off me to be something that I'm not. And so that was a big catalyst for me, was human design, because it was read to me, but then when I came home, I had it professionally read for me by the same woman. And then I just kept going down the rabbit hole of learning, Chat GPT. What does this gate mean? What does that gate mean? Well, the most pronounced gates that I have are 25 and 51. And they are the priestess or the shaman channel. And I learned this in Egypt, that I have the priestess channel at the same time that I'm learning and seeing myself as a priestess and giving myself this name. So once I surrendered to all this, didn't understand it, I always surrender. That's fine. You'll bring me the knowledge later. I get it. When I do that, it just helps me expand even more, which is why I'm on this trajectory of expansion. But now, because of everything that I've gone through, and I'm doing this, for people that I know, and I'm doing it on the side and some clients, now it's time for me, which is really hard for me as a projector, to really put myself out there and say, what I do is wild and crazy, but this is what's been given to me. And it works. It really works. So I am just kind of going with it. My videos aren't so great. Me talking in front of the camera is not so great, but it's real. It's really who I am. I'm not picking myself apart. I am not redoing them once I've done them, because this is basically who I am. And if I resonate with you, then you'll come to me and you'll want guidance. You'll want some help. You'll want me to help push off some energy. You'll want me to help get you ready for a Kundalini awakening, if that is your goal. It's whoever I resonate with. And if you look at me and you watch my videos and you think, holy God, this girl is crazy, then move on, because I'm having a blast. Because I am coming into who I am. I am opening myself up to be seen. And it's so not easy. Like, really, I'm right at the beginning. And so I just really wanted to share a little bit about my Egypt trip and why you see on there Priestess Anya. It's not that I say that I'm a priestess, but she is my spine. She is my serpent. She holds all of the archetypes, and she guides them with strength and courage and unconditional love. Gate 25 is unconditional love, and gate 51 is a catalyst. So I catalyze you with unconditional love. It is done with the command of love and of you're going to show coherence. This distortion has to go. It's time. We demand it. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about my Egypt trip, and a little bit more in between. But I just wanted to share it with you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Have a great day.